So you're building a business while holding down a full-time job. You know the hustle is absolutely real. But here's the thing. The biggest threats, they're not out there. They're in here. The internal energy drains, like imposter syndrome and the dreaded comparison game. In this explainer, we're going to tackle that inner game head-on and give you the tools to actually win it.
Man, this quote just hits different, doesn't it? We are swimming in our own messy, chaotic, behind-the-scenes reality. And then we pick up our phones and scroll through everyone else's perfectly polished highlight reel. That gap, right there, that's exactly where self-doubt is born.
And this leads us to something the source material calls the dynamo's dilemma. It's that really specific kind of lonely feeling that can creep in when you're juggling these two massive roles. It is a uniquely tough journey, and we're about to put a name to exactly who's on it. So who is this dual-role dynamo? Well, it's you. It's anyone burning the midnight oil after their day job, all because you've got a big vision. If that sounds familiar, you are absolutely in the right place. Consider this explainer your personal strategic toolkit.
Okay, let's really get into the weeds of the problem now. We have to stop thinking about comparison as just some bad feeling. It's not. It's a strategic problem. It's like a massive leak in your energy reserves, and believe me, it is actively sabotaging your success.
Here's the most crucial point. We've all heard of the 80-20 rule, right? Focus on the 20% of your work that gets you 80% of your results. Well, comparison is basically the anti-80-20 rule. It completely hijacks your focus and points it towards emotional drama that produces exactly 0 results.
Just look at this number, 80%. That's the potential cost of comparison. I mean, just imagine 80% of your precious mental energy, the fuel for your entire business, being poured down the drain on something with a 0% return. It is the single worst investment you can make, and so many of us make it every single day.
And this slide right here shows the real tactical damage. As we said, it makes you violate that all-important 80-20 rule. It tricks you into chasing someone else's goals, which throws your own strategy completely off course. And maybe worst of all, it poisons your sacred block, that precious, dedicated time you carve out for deep work on your dream.
All right, enough about the problem. We get it. It's bad. Now, let's talk about the solution. We're going to build a strategic mindset toolkit with 4 super practical, actionable strategies you can literally start using today to fight back and take back your focus.
First up, we've got a simple but honestly an incredibly powerful habit called the proof of progress practice. Think of this as your first line of defense against that vague, sinking feeling that you're just not getting anywhere.
So here's how it works. The ritual? It's easy. Keep a little log, a notebook, a file, whatever, and write down 3 wins every single day. The strategic win? You're building an undeniable database of objective proof. So when that subjective feeling of imposter syndrome shows up, you don't argue with it. You just open the log and show it the cold, hard data.
Let's add our second tool to the toolkit. This one is called the strategic separation filter, and it's designed to disarm those comparison triggers right in the moment as they're happening. Now, what's so powerful about this slide is how it just exposes the totally flawed logic we use against ourselves. We're always comparing our biggest weaknesses to someone else's greatest strengths, or we compare what we can get done in our 2-hour sacred block to someone who does this for 40 hours a week. I mean, come on, it's a completely unfair fight.
So, the ritual is simple. The second you feel that trigger, you just pause and ask yourself these 2 questions. And the strategic win is instant. Your brain immediately sees that the comparison is illogical, that it's unfair, and that gives you permission to just dismiss it and get back to work.
Our third strategy is all about shifting your identity. This one tackles that little voice in your head, the one that says, "I'm not ready," or "I'm not an expert yet," the one that keeps so many of us stuck.
The ritual here is just a small but profound change in language. You're not an imposter. You're an expert in progress. And the strategic win? It's huge. It empowers you to take action right now. You don't have to know everything. You just have to know enough to help the person who's one single step behind you on their journey.
And for our final strategy, we're going to integrate all this mindset work directly into your daily schedule. This is the transition block for your mind, and it makes your mental game a planned part of your day, not just an afterthought.
So, in that little window of time when you're switching from your day job to your business work, you consciously switch your mindset. You can use an affirmation like this one. My journey is unique. My focus is my power. I am enough. The win is that you are actively building a firewall for your mind, protecting your most valuable creative time before comparison can even get in. So as we start to wrap this up, let's tie all these internal strategies to your big external goals. Because winning this inner game, it isn't just about feeling better. It's about building a much, much stronger foundation for the empire you're creating.
This right here is the core takeaway. Your business, your brand, your success, it's only ever going to be as strong as your mindset. By fortifying your mind against all that comparison and self-doubt, you are literally building the unshakable foundation your business needs to grow and thrive.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most important point. Look, this isn't just theory. This is a call to action. So I'm going to leave you with this question. What is the one comparison, that one person, that one metric you're always measuring yourself against? What is the one you will consciously choose to delete from your mind starting today? Answering that is your first real step to winning the inner game.